to the Hellmouth. Hope everybody's 5x5. This is Major Slayage, Ket Arik, Rewatch, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My name is Eric, and to my right, your left, my gorgeous, hilarious, brilliant, talented wife and co-host. You know her as half the powerhouse duo that is Kim and Ket. Stay alive, maybe. Give it up for Ketryn Porter.
Hello.
Hello.
I like your outfit today.
Well, thank you very much. I like my outfit as well. I think you look stunning. I love your outfit. I don't know if it's reading on camera, but in person, your skin is absolutely glowing.
Summer is my skin's time.
Yeah, that's your time
Very
to shine.
much. Literally.
We are here to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 4, Episode 2, Living Conditions. What'd you think of this one?
I felt attacked, triggered, bullied.
Seen in a way, though, maybe?
Seen, provoked into homicide. This episode is so well done that I hate it.
Yeah, it was a triggering experience for you. It was
really triggering.
Yeah, I think that this was an unpleasant watch, but it was exquisitely executed.
It also just like makes me like confused as to like, have I become more annoyed in terms of like, I can't imagine living with a roommate now.
Well, we talked about this in our watch along, $5 a month on Patreon. We watch every episode and talk over the whole thing. It's kind of a psychotic concept.
Yeah.
To put 17, 18-year-old kids in a tiny room together to share intimate space with a fucking stranger.
Yeah.
Like it is, we just all accept it as like, oh, that's a rite of passage. It's part
Who's
of
your
going away
roommate?
to school.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's insane. If you either move in with a friend or romantic partner, or even if you like screen for a stranger by posting an ad on Craigslist or something, you interview lots of people and you painstakingly select the person you're going to live with,
you're still going to want to murder them at
it's
certain
hard.
points.
It's really hard to get along, to coexist, let alone just plunking you in with someone that a computer randomly assigned you. Like it's truly unhinged that we expect people to basically share a jail cell with a stranger.
And I just like, I genuinely don't know how I did college. Like it because I had a pretty great roommate for all but the first semester of college, because the first semester I was, assigned a stranger. She wasn't my person. I wasn't her person either. Right. Luckily, my best friend lived in the exact same room, exactly one floor above me. I was in 1115 Tower B and Anna was in 1215 Tower B.
Interesting.
Just by pure coincidence.
And she also did not get along with her first semester roommate?
She had two. We got along with one. The other one was this chick named who dropped out after the first semester.
Or was killed by vampires and had her stuff moved and a note left behind.
Or was killed by vampires, who may have been her little rat-faced boyfriend, who I think
you have a lot of names already.
She's, you know what? Full fucks to you.
So you and I did the same thing in that I had my first assigned roommate the first semester freshman year, someone with whom I did not get along. I'm sure some of those stories are going to come up as we go through this. And then I switched rooms and moved in with a friend by second semester.
Yep.
And that, for the most part, was much more copacetic.
Yeah. This episode sent me into a blinding rage, as it does every time I watch it.
I will say this. They are all treating Buffy like she's completely unhinged, like to the point where they need to like tie her up. I didn't feel like Buffy's reactions would have raised an eyebrow. She just seemed a little cranky, like compared to how she was when she came back and when she was bad. This didn't even move my needle. I don't even think I would have thought to check on Buffy, let alone kidnap and subdue her.
Well, we do have to, and we'll get to it, but like you do have to remember the tie-up didn't happen. Okay, one, Buffy is the type B of the Willow Buffy scenario. So like Buffy is kind of the easygoing, would be the annoying roommate, kind of only child sort of thing. So she clearly is agitated by Kathy, which I agree seems a little out of character in that we don't really see Buffy be like annoyed at people.
Well,
very
this is a new
often.
experience, though. This is the first time sharing space with someone. She is an only child. Wink.
I think that in and of itself like draws attention to her behavior. She's not actually tied up until she, the cosmically appointed Slayer, says Kathy is evil and needs to be killed. That is when she is tied up, because they're like, Buffy, roommates suck and they're super annoying. You can't kill them.
Even that, though, I read it as we were watching as like, she's just venting. She's not actually going to kill Kathy.
As someone who would have actually killed Kathy, she would have killed Kathy.
I guess I just don't have that homicidal urge. I don't recognize it in others.
Yeah,
maybe.
I saw it. I felt it. She needed to be tied up.
Okay, well, we're going to get into all of that during our recap and review. But before we do you have a spell for us?
Yes. So this is less a ritualistic spell and more just like something that can be used for all of my people sharing a room with a negative demon type person. We're going to have Buffy put a stone of black tourmaline under her pillow. Black tourmaline.
Under her own pillow or under Kathy's pillow?
Her own pillow.
Okay.
It absorbs negativity. And absorbs / blocks, depending on what you read. And then we're going to take a mirror, like a little freestanding, small, tiny mirror.
Kind of thing Xander would have tried to use to catch some side boob in Buffy's room?
Yes. We're not going to use it to catch side boob. We're going to put it, there was a nightstand that was shared between the two of them. It was like between their two beds. As soon as Kathy falls asleep, you're going to turn that mirror towards Kathy, because what it's going to do is it's going to reflect all of the bad energy back at her.
It's kind of the witchcraft version of I'm rubber, you're glue.
Correct.
Okay.
So anything that maybe skirts around, takes a detour around the mirror, is going to be absorbed by the black tourmaline under her pillow.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Take it away.
We start with a very annoying song. Do You Believe in Life After Love by Cher. Now, here's the thing. I am sure the first time that this played at a club, everyone went, way to go, Cher. Cool song.
It's an unmitigated banger. It's an amazing song.
The problem, and I've talked to my kids that I mentor about this. Mm-hmm. One thing that they don't really experience, because they don't really listen to the radio,
like hearing songs out in the wild.
Is hearing songs out in the wild and the way that they would be overplayed to the point of hating them. Yeah. Or at least for me. Like there would be...
you used to work retail, so you would get them just drilled into your head.
Yeah. And like I've now revisited songs from this particular time period that were overplayed, that if you would ask me, do you like that song? I would have said, I hate that song. But because I've gone a long time without hearing it, I went, oh, wait, that's not actually a terrible song. This song's kind of bland, whatever. But like having this song on repeat, I was like, this is POW camp torture. Like, this is horrible. This is horrible.
I mentioned this in the walk along. In the watch along, my freshman year, first semester roommate had a song that he played on repeat to the point where I would get off the elevator and I would hear it playing. And it is one of the most annoying songs. Well, I think it's called Back from the Dead by House of Pain. Maybe I'll play just a little bit. It's got this horn intro that goes it's like that's the sample that they use. So I would get off the elevator and I could hear it coming from my room all the way down the hall. Much like Willow, I just go, I gotta go be somewhere else.
Now here's the thing. Definitely am a person who like gets into it. Like I hear a song that I love and I'll play it on repeat. What I am not is someone who discounts the fact that other people have ears. Like just because I want to hear it on repeat, I understand that there is literally nothing more annoying than hearing a song that somebody else has chosen to put on repeat.
That's very true about you, and it's sort of true universally. And it's wild that headphones are not a thing in this, because there's a scene that happens late in the thing where Kathy's blasting her Cher, and Buffy puts on like winter earmuffs, which would not have blocked the sound. Kathy should be the one putting something on her ears.
A billion percent.
Now, back then you didn't have Bluetooth, so you would have been tethered to your stereo.
No, you could be tethered to a disc, man.
But that's how we rolled back then.
Yeah,
you just had wires
on
your headphones, and you dealt with it. And
yeah.
then the headphone cord would get caught on
and then you'd have to murder somebody
of a
again.
drawer
Yeah.
or a cabinet and send you into a blind rage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's whew, okay, we are 1 millisecond into the episode, and my heart is literally like beating. Okay, so Buffy is really trying. Like, she's like, wow, you really like this song, and Kathy picks up not a cue. Like, when it comes to reading a room, Kathy is fully illiterate. I don't know how she got into college because she's fully illiterate.
I have some questions about that too, but we'll get into it later in the episode.
So we also see, it's so funny because the first episode, I was like, wow, Kathy is passive aggressive, like right off the bat. Like, I was like, I forgot that she was immediately passive aggressive. And Eric was like, I didn't pick up on it. And then here it's like, do you see? I mean, she's a
lot more aggressive in this one. There's a lot less passive this episode.
So we get a I didn't realize you'd be coming and going at all hours of the night. I don't mind. I'm just surprised. And I was like, punch! I want to kill her.
Kathy needs to mind her business.
So talks about logging her phone calls, which I do remember having to do, and wonders why there's milk missing. I think Kathy is the kind of person who like measures where her milk is. I don't know how she does it. Maybe that's one of her demon powers. Spoiler.
Maybe she dumps it into a measuring cup and then dumps it back into the carton.
I bet she does.
She's pretty fastidious.
I bet she does.
She's pretty meticulous.
And then I just wrote, oh my fucking God, she started the song over. I was already out by 12 seconds into this episode. And then I did write, I was like, not only is she super annoying, but Buffy's an only child, wink. And this must be really tough.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
This must be really hard. So now she's venting to Willow and annoyed that she like still has to sneak out, which I didn't even think about that angle. Like, she still has to make excuses. Willow also got on my fucking nerves because all of a sudden Willow is chewing gum really loudly.
I don't remember ever seeing gum in this show in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And now everyone's chewing massive amounts of gum they're me.
Now, I do have a theory about it, and it's most schools do not allow gum chewing.
So like, High was not going to allow them.
No, so you don't build
But you got a lot of off hours time you could be chewing gum.
Right, but like, you're not necessarily going to build the habit.
This is part of their I'm on my own, making up my own rules rebellion.
Yeah.
I'm going to chew gum.
I can tell you right now, if I was a college professor, no fucking gum chewing in my class.
That's not the way my school worked at all. I've told this story before. I remember.
Oh yeah, your hamburger.
Yeah, there was. So we had a Rally's hamburger joint on campus, which doubled at night as Club Underground. It was a music venue. So we would have like ska bands. And then if you look to the side, you'd see like the Rally's menu. Like, it was the same building.
Yeah.
But I grabbed a Rally's burger on my way to my African history class. And I was always the kid in elementary school who would like shoot my arm up out of socket to answer every question. I needed to show off that I knew the answers. And I got into African history, sat down, spread my burger paper out. I was gonna spend the first 10 minutes of this class eating this burger, which is completely allowed. That was my gum chewing. That was my I'm on my own rebellion. And teacher asked a question to which I knew the answer. And I saw all these hands shoot up across the room. And I thought, I'm going to focus on my burger. I'm not going to try and answer this right now with a mouthful of burger. And then it made me wonder. It's almost like the end of The Sixth Sense, where you go back and you view things through a different lens, and they have a different context. Now, I was like, how many of the kids that didn't raise their hands all throughout my educational career, how many of my classmates knew the answer but decided not to raise their hand?
Right.
And that was like I was 19 years old, and that is a moment that lives with me. Like, I think back to, well, that was a paradigm shift. That was a massive event for me in how I interacted with my world.
And developmentally, interestingly, that lines up for where we start to be able to realize that other people have their own stories and existences. And that everybody is the main character in their own story. So that's very, very interesting because it aligns.
Yeah, it reminds me of something that we had a conversation recently, not regarding Buffy, but just I was like, I think I figured out why someone becomes closer friends with certain people than other people. And to me, it occurred to me this way. One of your close, like, inner circle friends is someone you don't mind being a supporting character in their show of their life.
Mm-hmm.
You meet some people and you're like, I know this person thinks they're the main character and I am just a side character in their life, and I'm not okay with that. And so I keep that person at arm's length.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in being everyone's wacky neighbor.
Yeah.
But my close friends, I'm so happy to be a supporting character in their story in the way that I view them as a supporting character in my story.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's the mutual agreement that you're both side characters and you're both main characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Buffy also makes a reference to VH1, which just like made me so nostalgic and sad. Cause like, remember we had MTV and then we had VH1, which was like MTV Light.
Yeah, it was a more like adult contempo, less edgy music, and frankly became a destination once MTV around this time, maybe a year or two before this, because like kind of when I started school, started showing a lot more reality shows and a lot less music.
Yeah,
at least you go to VH1 to still
pop-up
see
video
music. Oh, and the pop-up video was like the Wikipedia of music videos.
Man,
just
I just
fun facts popping up all the time.
Yeah, it just made me really nostalgic. So Willow splits off from Buffy so that Buffy can hunt, and we see that there is a green-eyed hooded demon in the brush watching.
Yes.
Kathy then appears rather than a monster, and I was like, God, what I wouldn't give for this to have been a monster. I
don't think the two are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, but
I think Buffy does encounter a monster. Her name is Kathy.
So and she's like, I would love a decaf latte. Let's.
At least Joyce brought her own coffee.
God,
when she crashed a hunt.
Yeah. So luckily, Buffy has the opportunity to push her into the bushes. God, it felt so good in my bones. So she fights off a green-eyed cloaked demon, helps Kathy out of the bushes. Why? And we see two of the demons then talking to each other. And what they say is, she may be the one. We have to be sure, follow her.
Now, what happens is Buffy pulls Kathy out of the bushes, and she calls it a sweater, but it looks like a hoodie to me. I don't know. But Kathy's top has got mud on it, just on the tummy, and she does not have a speck on her white pants. Where are you being thrown to the ground where your red shirt is going to pick up a massive puddle of mud? White pants, scot-free.
Also, I've never worn a pair of white pants that didn't immediately have stains on it upon purchase.
Get them to your car. It's like,
yeah. So let's go to Giles's house. So Buffy is venting about her roommate, and it's just very sweet because at this point, Buffy doesn't think that Kathy is a demon. She just finds her very annoying. And so she literally is just going to her dad being like, my roommate's really annoying. And Giles is showing up as her dad, giving her advice about an annoying roommate.
But he also clocks that Buffy's never taken this much interest in him,
right? And
realizes that she's just creating an excuse to stay longer because she's avoiding going back to her room.
Right. And Giles has my favorite line in this, which I'm excited to tell you about when we get to superlatives, because it's quite mundane, but it's one of those lines that has stuck out to me since the first time I ever heard it. So now we cut to Kathy trying to clean her sweatshirt, and she decides to borrow Buffy's sweater without asking. I've been friends with Kim for 25 years. Never, even now, would I go into her closet
just help yourself
and help myself to her clothes without asking. Even though she'd probably let me, I still would never, ever do that.
Closet design is strange too. There's a lock that, at least at this point in the show, can only be used to lock someone inside the closet. Right. Like, it's a lock that anyone approaching from the outside can
unlock.
Just open. Yeah. So I don't know what it's there for. Now, we do see later that Buffy puts a padlock on it, and that's useful.
It could have been that Buffy put it on there to just be like,
it's a warning.
I'm dissuading you
from
looking in my closet, because she just has her freaking bag of weapons in there.
This bugged me a little bit. Last week, there was a big deal about her blue trunk.
Mm-hmm.
She found it Sunday. The vampires had stolen her blue trunk, and she clocked it and got it back. So now, instead of putting her stuff in her blue trunk, which is secure, she just leaves the bag open in her closet. And I was like, that seems sloppy. Yeah. Yes. Pretty brunette girl.
That is her travel.
That's your go bag. But yeah, you
It's your
put
go
them
bag.
back where they go, not just leave them in the closet if you're trying not to be found out as someone who carries around crossbows and crosses.
This man's never had a purse that you sometimes need to take things in and out of the purse depending on the purse. That's what it is. You can't.
You drop that whole thing in the secure footlocker. That's what I'm saying.
Kathy does clock the weapons bag, obviously.
And unlike the vampire last week who saw Buffy's weapons and decided to GTFO, Kathy's like, I'm 10 toes down in this.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more involved.
So now we go to the cafeteria and Buffy sees Kathy and butts in front of a real piece of shit. Mom, you don't know why he's a piece of shit yet. You can probably guess,
we
but
have no indication yet that he's a piece of shit.
I can't. You know what else this episode does? I got Kathy, I got the introduction to Parker, and then an introduction to that other dumb bitch. All in this episode.
Oh yeah, we barely meet the other one.
I won't talk about it yet. Parker's trouble. Buffy's bless. She's a freshman in college. I don't expect her to be able to sniff this out, but boy, oh boy, can she not sniff this out.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't give us any outward indication. He's just a charming guy that looks like a Disney prince. He's got a little bit of a bad boy streak because he's like, how to abuse your meal card to survive on food all week. And so he's got a little like underground black market forbidden knowledge.
Here's what I'll say. I would have 100% fallen for it as Buffy at that age. As a wizened old crone that I am now, it feels so obvious.
Right.
Willow then kind of like waves her over. So she goes over and sits, and Xander is there. And we get another glimpse into the subtle and not so subtle emotional abuses that Xander has to endure now that he's living back
Willow's
in his home.
fries because his parents charge him for food.
Make him pay for food. Willow asks about Parker. Buffy's just kind of like, he's cute. Moving on.
Xander and Oz are pretty sure that he'll come sniffing around again.
Yeah. Xander is also like really anxious to be useful. Understandably, he's the only one that sort of is, purposeless, and he had
a bit of purgatory.
Yeah, and he had a purpose, and it didn't work out. I actually am very proud of Xander right now because there's a lot of opportunities where younger Xander would have like kind of played the victim and or tried to bring other people down.
He would have brought out his antisocial tendencies. Yeah.
And instead he's maintained his self-deprecating humor, but he's also like, hey, you know what would be better for me rather than bringing everyone else down is like
try and get up where you are.
I'm going to try to get up where you are, and I'm going to try to find ways to be useful. So way to go, Xander.
Yeah, I haven't quite enjoyed him the last couple episodes.
He's really doing great. I once again love when I see Xander evolving and
living up to the good person he can be.
Exactly.
Because when he's not, see if you agree with this, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's failing to be a good person.
Yes.
When he is antisocial.
Correct. I couldn't agree more. And when we know what his home life is, he doesn't have an example of good people. So like he really is doing it by improv. And that's tough. Ew. Kathy comes and squeeze in.
Herself. Yeah.
I hate God.
I still think it's a missed opportunity. I mean, we don't spend enough time with Kathy.
Thank God.
It would have been fucking hilarious if Xander started dating Kathy.
You're a monster.
I just think it would have created so much tension and awkwardness.
You're a monster.
I feel like
you're a monster.
There was fertile story ground to be mined there that they didn't explore.
Why are you doing this to me?
Trying to create drama, trying to create interesting television.
So Kathy is wearing Buffy's sweater and immediately spills ketchup on it. Like, I absolutely would throat punch her, like right now. I hate her so much. And Willow, Xander, Oz, to be fair, are all able to be like, Buffy, go easy on her, because they're not seeing everything that Buffy is seeing.
And they're not it's not their sweater.
Right.
There's emotional distance between watching someone do a thing that to you feels like, it's not that big a deal, because it's easy for you to say it's not a big deal. It's not happening to you.
Right. So now
it's not the slow drip, drip, drip. They haven't had to listen to Cher on repeat for weeks on it.
Truly like burrows into your brain like mad cow disease. Now we cut to Buffy venting to Willow over the phone, and we see that Willow also has a shitty roommate situation.
Yes, she does.
But here's where Willow is like not implementing her empathy, because guess what Willow can do? Escape. She can go stay with Oz. Mm-hmm. Buffy doesn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
So she's got a terrible roommate situation and she is stuck there.
Stuck.
Kathy comes, don't forget to log those calls. I'm going to put a log through your eye.
Jesus Christ.
We also see that Kathy has labeled all of her food. She is flossing not in the bathroom, which is fully unhinged.
Yeah, what is going to happen to the
That's
bits
crazy.
of food that come out of your mouth? They're just going to be sprinkled about your bed. Also, they put the most hilarious sound effect on when she's flossing. Like you get a cartoon.
We then have a open-close window fight, and I have what is my rule about open and closing windows?
Whoever's hotter wins because the other person can put on clothes. The hot person can't take their skin off.
Correct.
I've heard this a few times. In fact, I think we had one of those conversations pre-show once that we released on our TikTok.
Yeah.
I'll play it right here.
You got to see about what?
Bringing that fucking space heater out.
No, dude. You can put more clothes on. I can't take my skin off.
You're not cold right now?
No.
I'm so cold my fingers are freezing. Like I don't think this is just the medicine. I think it's genuinely cold right now.
No, I think it's a combination of you're on Manjaro, I'm perimenopausal, so it's working.
So I'm running cold, you're running hot?
Mm-hmm. Now Buffy does fuck up here because this bitch put a fucking piece of gum on the nightstand and it got stuck under Kathy's book. So, Kathy won Buffy a zillion in terms of...
She lost that round.
Yeah, she lost that round. Buffy has a dream of a demon ritual happening.
Scorpion put on her tummy.
Scorpion, blood.
Dumping some blood in her mouth.
Symbols, all that kind of shit. She then kind of wakes up with a start. First thing she sees is Kathy's dumb, pointy fucking face.
Do you always make that noise when you sleep?
So now Buffy is talking to Jaiwaz about the dream. Once again, I feel so bad for Giles because, we know who Giles is and why Giles is there. But to anyone else, he's just a 50-year-old man hanging out on college campuses. Right. And it's unfortunate. And then Kathy walks up and introduces herself to Giles. This is where I will say Buffy is a pretty big bitch in this particular scene. I mean, she's not cloaking anything.
Well, I think she's not trying to. She's like, I have to live with you. I don't want you in my time away from you.
But there's no tact. I think this is where maybe
Jaiwaz
is like, that's fucking rude. Like, you can talk to us about how annoying she is, but she literally is like, don't you have to go to class, Kathy? Like, she's a bitch. She's being a bitch. It's warranted, but I understand why it stood out. So
this is the scene. This is frankly the only scene that bumps me in this whole thing.
Go ahead.
Jumping ahead, we learn that Kathy is a secret demon who's masquerading as a person because she wants to go to college. Mm-hmm. So it opens up so many questions. How does a person that didn't exist have transcripts to be able to apply to college? Demon magic. Okay, fine. Why in the world would she share the fucking idea of this dream
being a mutual
if
dream?
She's hiding the fact that she's a demon?
Yeah.
Like, she would have recognized the demons in the dream.
Right.
Why put that spotlight on herself? If she's trying to stay under the radar, this is a clue for the Scoobies. This makes no sense for it to be something Kathy would do.
She walks away finally, and this is where I went. This
with the weirdest square backpack I've ever seen. Like, what
weirdest
the fuck
square
is she wearing?
backpack, and also doesn't swing her arms when she walks.
This backpack almost looks like a vest with like a laptop satchel attached to the back of it.
Yeah,
and then she.
I hate her so much. I mean, hats off to this actress because I was supposed to hate you and I did. So Jaiwaz,
do you think there's nobody out there that watches this and is Team Kathy?
If they are, I have to kill them too. Because that's too big of a red flag for the human race to endure.
Okay.
So, that's dangerous. If you're Team Kathy, that's really dangerous. That has implications that can't be allowed to exist, right? She was being a pretty big bitch. It was not, because she wasn't even doing it behind Kathy's back. She wasn't eye rolling when Kathy.
Yeah, Willow says she's bordering on Cordelia.
Yeah, it was a lot. So now we see some demons meeting around a fire, chanting about the one or summoning the one or something.
And you said that Southern California, you cannot be starting fires like this. This is how entire towns burned down.
No, yeah, you can't fucking do that. Buffy then comes into her room and she's still playing the song. And now Parker, who's trouble, Buffy, don't worry about it. Like, let him go.
For a hot second, I thought I was going to get my wish because we only see him from the back and it's just a dark-haired boy. Like,
why do you wish for Xander to be... You just said wish?
I think it would have been fertile story ground. I think it would have been fun to torture Buffy. All right, welcome to Major Slayage. Eric watches Buffy the Vampire Slayer all by himself while Ketryn destroys the room in a Citizen Kane-style tantrum. What the hell was that?
Luckily, it was my empty cup, not my full cup.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Parker is there. He brought her heavy-duty Ziploc bags because in their whole, like, cafeteria...
You steal some dry goods and save them for later.
Yeah, put them in there.
Blah, blah, blah,
no,
blah, blah.
the Ziploc bag... Did you not pay attention?
I don't think I did.
The Ziploc bags are for the wet goods. Because the dry goods you can just put directly
Just put a handful of cereal in your pocket. You don't need to put that in a bag. No need for a bag.
So...
Would you like a bag for that? No, I'm just going to carry it in my hand.
I just wrote, ew.
Ew, 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 ew. That's you.
They're all flirty. Buffy is super chilly, tells Parker to leave. Then she, like, oh, God. Ugh. And the whole conversation, grossed me out so much. The whole conversation about, like, turns out Kathy's a closet hockey fan. Oh, my God. That was just between us. Like, could be the sweaty men. Oh, my God. I'm so scandalized.
For context, if this is your first episode, Ketryn really doesn't like people. So some things that people do that are just ordinary, mundane people things send her into a blind rage. So if this seems like a big reaction, it's perfectly on brand for her.
She's not doing normal things.
These
are objectively annoying things. These are objectively annoying things. So Buffy then puts a lock on her closet. Should have been on Kathy's mouth. This is where, fuck, God, I hate her so much. So Buffy opens the window again. And Kathy says, I'm cold, while she's wearing a fucking tank top. Well, put a sweater on, bitch.
Well, Buffy ruined her sweater. And then she ruined Buffy's sweater. They're pulling out of sweaters.
Wrap yourself in your fucking comforter and stop breathing. So then she's like, it's share time, Buffy. And so Buffy goes over and drinks a carton of milk right in her face.
This is truly unhinged because I think you
was it perfectly warranted?
No, you could have gotten away with just putting your lips on the carton to make your point. Buffy gives herself a wet milk shirt contest. This does not. Buffy came out the worse for the wear on this one.
The only way that this could have been better is if Buffy
they were playing pour some sugar on me while she's dousing herself in milk.
No. Shh. Buffy first went into Kathy's closet, put on one of Kathy's sweaters, then went to the fridge, pulled out that carton of milk, and then got milk all over Kathy's sweater. That's the only way that this could have been better. So really, Buffy didn't go far enough.
That sounds like Big Milk talking.
Big Milk. Now we cut to Waz talking about how Buffy's being weird.
And Willow's like, if not for this paper I have to write, I would be doing the best friend thing and listening to her vent. And Oz goes, I'll do it.
So sweet.
I'll go be her best friend and listen to her vent. And he's like, I'm not saying we're going to braid each other's hair, but
Yeah.
Now I think other than him chasing her down when she was Rat Buffy, I don't think we've had a scene that's just the two of them prior to this. So this was a really fun pairing when they're kind of on patrol and having a little bit of banter.
And they're really I was about to say they're really compatible, but Oz is like literally compatible with everybody.
Yeah, he's like water.
That's his thing. What? He's what?
He's like water. He takes the shape of whatever you put him into. In the way like Bruce Lee means it.
That's lovely. Oz is now walking to find Buffy on patrol. He passes a girl walking and they have a weird vibe. We don't know what the vibe is. I'm not going to tell you what the vibe is, Mom. I am going to tell you that we are going to encounter this girl again and you are going to hate her so much that I think it's going to make you feel ill.
Don't put that in people's heads. Maybe she's going to have like Xander's her favorite character.
I know my mom.
There's a chance she could find this person sympathetic or intriguing or
mom.
at least understand why things play out the way they do?
I know my mom, and what we're going to do is we're going to clip this out, and once we're fully ensconced
In that story.
in that story, we're
Ask
going to
her
come back.
what she thinks.
Yes,
Okay.
in a trivia crypt.
But how's about we don't poison people's minds who've not seen the show before?
It's really important that I tell mom is going to not be well. It's going to be hard for her, and I need her to stick it out.
Here's the thing, is I found it heartbreaking, but I found it realistic, and I didn't end up hating anybody.
She's awful. She's so annoying. I don't even care what her affliction is. She as a person is terrible.
Well,
frankly, I prefer her in her other state.
All right. What I found interesting about this near meet cute was how much it mirrors the first few times Oz and Willow met, where they would like see each other and not exchange any words and just have like a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that deliberately.
Yeah.
And then we forget about, and then as this girl whose name we know, but we're not going to say, and her friends walk past, then we see the army guys like trudging through the bushes after them.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Now Boz is patrolling, and Buffy mimes punching as if she's never punched before, which was just absolutely inexplicable to me in all ways.
It was cute, but it was not on character. It wasn't realistic at all.
No.
And Oz has my favorite line here, which we'll revisit in a little bit.
Oz points out that like Buffy sort of ranting at the top of her voice is potentially scaring vampires and demons away and making her patrol obsolete.
Which Buffy interprets as
Kathy's ruining my
work.
patrol. Yeah. And so then she destroys a bench, which, God, that must have felt so good. So now we go back to Buffy's room, and Kathy is clipping her toenails, and that fucking metallic click of toenail clippers is just seared into my brain in a way that makes me feel like my gray matter is deteriorating.
It's fucking wild. This is a weird character trait to give her because she is seen as meticulous. She labels her eggs, right? She measures her pencils when she sharpens them. And yet she's just going to let toenail clippings just fly wherever they go and land wherever they are. And just that's their new home. That feels really out of character for someone who's that fastidious.
Demonic, if you will.
It just didn't make sense.
Now Buffy is tapping her pencil, which is also annoying, but doing it out of anxiety for toenail clippings, I get.
She grabs her wintry earmuffs once the chair
starts playing again. Yeah. Kathy then starts de-shelling a hard-boiled egg, which made me want hard-boiled eggs. I think I might make some hard-boiled eggs after we record. So Buffy goes to bed. How? I don't know. And they have the dream again, and so does Kathy. And they both kind of are like, whoa, wake up. So now it's a name pairing that I will never have to say again. Killo is talking in the hallway, and Buffy catches them talking and is rightly like, Willow, what are you doing? You absolute snake in the grass. Why are you talking to Kathy?
And Willow dissembles a little bit, and she's like, oh, we were just saying hi. But she wasn't. Like, Kathy was venting to Willow about Buffy and talking a little bit of shit.
That's
a real violation. That to me was the most egregious thing. She's like, you think you and I have the relationship where you're going to shit talk my best friend who you just met?
And frankly, I was a little disappointed in Willow not being like, yeah, I'm not your person for this.
Well, I think Willow's got her own issues with Buffy right now. She feels like Buffy's not at her best. And so she's maybe, I think she's coming from a good place. She's trying to acquire some insight into what might be going on with Buffy.
And Willow does say, she's like, I have a sucky roommate too. Like, you just have to deal. And Buffy's like, right, but I have to kill mine. And I said, when do we meet up? How do you want to do it?
I think the thumbnail I make for this episode, sometimes I'll put a headline and then move, the episode and title and stuff to a different corner. I think it's just going to be Ketryn hates Kathy.
Buffy says, I got to kill Kathy. She then pulls out a bag of toenail clippings.
Jesus Christ.
Objectively gross. But she's like, I measured them at night and I measured them this morning and they grew. And
what would possess you to measure them the first time?
Because you're the Slayer. And you know when something is off. You know when something is evil.
And you made this point that it's been a minute since we played this game, but this used to be a thing that happened in the first couple seasons where Buffy would be like, I just think there's evil here, and everyone would tell her she's fucking crazy, and then she was right. She's actually never been wrong about this.
So Willow tells Buffy, yeah, you should go tell Giles. So Buffy's like, I should go tell Giles. Right when Buffy leaves, Willow then calls Giles and is like, hi, Buffy's acting a little insane, so I sent her to
measuring
you.
toenails.
Yeah. So
that does seem unhinged. She turns out to be right, but this is the first thing where I go, all right, I can see why her friends are a little concerned. She's running around measuring toenails.
except she was right. So it seems like you just don't have the detective skills that Buffy does.
Columbuff. It's been a long time since we've said Columbuff.
Yeah. Buffy shows up to Giles and they immediately throw a Wile E. Coyote net over her. And the only reason, like, I thought it was a little silly too that like Buffy could like easily get out of this. I think the only reason she didn't is because she's not trying to hurt them. Like, she's like, guys, let me out of the fucking net.
I even noticed on the first pass of this, they like secure the rope around a little nub on the back of the couch or whatever. Like, it's not even attached to anything. It's
they didn't do a good job. But something happens where Giles is like, we need to make the possessing demon reveal itself.
Buffy's trying to give him the toenail business, and he's at least going to chase it down.
Okay, so that's all it was.
But we're also going to keep you from killing her until we know what's going on.
Okay, got it. So Willow...
I honestly couldn't tell in this if Giles is just humoring her or if he's like, we at least got to see if there's anything to this.
Honestly, it might be both, because I think Ripper is probably like, hey, she hasn't been wrong yet, but Giles is sort of like, I
just don't need Buffy killing college girls.
So Willow then shows up to Kathy and is like, you should probably bail, because like I think Buffy's gonna kill you. Kathy is the most annoying in this scene because she's like, why should I leave? Why should I leave the room? Buffy should be in a home. She's going to do something crazy. God, I hate her voice. I hate her face. I hate her voice. I hate all of it. But then Oz calls, knowing that Willow was there, and is like, actually tell Kathy to stay put. So now Willow is like, actually just don't leave your room. You get your wish. Don't leave. Back at Giles' house, Buffy is like, points out, she's like, after all we've been through, you don't believe me about Kathy. And Zaz doesn't, but then Xander is also like, I don't really feel like I tightened those ropes as much as I should. And I was like, Xander, I know that you didn't tighten the ropes as much as you should. So they go over to tighten them and she immediately knocks them out. Immediately.
She causes brain damage to her two very close friends.
But again, only because we know how many times Giles has been knocked out, I think the Hellmouths in lots of mysterious ways, and one of them is that like knockout brain damage is negated in some way.
Okay. Because you had to hit someone's head hard enough against someone else's head that both people lose consciousness.
You've gotten hit so hard you lost consciousness.
Yeah, playing
before.
softball. I was playing third base, and the guy in left field and I were both tracking a fly ball. I was running backwards. He was running towards me. Neither one of us called it. And this was our friend Dylan when he was in his CrossFit phase. So he was just built like a fucking statue. And I just hit him.
Do you know where you hit him?
I think his knee hit me in the thigh and my head hit against his chest.
Dylan's chest knocked you out?
Well, we were running full speed at a fly ball. So I remember making contact, and then I remember having the most delicious, restful sleep I've ever had in my life. And I came to laying on the ground. I might have only been out for seconds, but it was like the most serene sleep I'd ever had.
That's wild. So Buffy gets out of the ropes and she confronts Kathy in their room. And Kathy hits her first. And I just went, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You didn't make it so that I had to throw the first punch, but now I get to throw the rest.
And if not for the reveal that Kathy is a demon wearing a rubber human mask, Buffy was going to strip the skin off this bitch's face. Like, this is so unhinged. Isn't it you punch me, I punch you back? Like, I'm literally going to flay your face. That's fucking insane.
What do you?
Well, first of all, help me. This is a cry for help. But also, like, that's so, like, obviously it wound up being fine, but like, what was Buffy's move in the moment?
To rip her face off.
And then she's instantly vindicated. She's like, I knew it.
Yeah, it was great. It felt really good. Buffy and I both felt really good. So now we see that the ritual demons are ritualing, and out from the depths of the Hellmouth pops Mom Demon. Deem Mom.
And she's in like a little like peach blouse.
Yes, she
It's
looked
very funny.
great. I loved it. She got it at Talbot's. She's like, where is she? So Giles is now reading about it. So he's figuring it all out. FYI, the fucking toenails were regenerating, growing, all of that shit. Buffy was spot on the whole goddamn time.
The deal with the spell is that their demons don't have souls.
Correct.
So and I guess that's probably pretty common for demons.
Yeah.
So she's been in this dream ritual sipping Buffy's soul out a little bit at a time, so that when the people come to collect her, they're going to go, oh, well, this one doesn't have a soul. That must be her, and take Buffy. And Buffy figures out that the reason she's been such a bitch is that this girl's been like taking little pieces of her soul every night.
Kathy and Buffy, I'm not going to be combining their names. She doesn't deserve it. Kathy and Buffy are beating the shit out of each other, and it's fun. Zaz wakes up. Willow tries to call Buffy, but Kathy is beating her with the phone, which was so silly. It was very dumb. I loved it. Giles,
does she have a line about like all you had to do was log your calls?
Yes,
like it's
it's so silly. So then Giles comes in and is like, she was fucking right. So now Wiles is doing a spell to basically re-extract the pieces of Buffy's soul that Kathy
out of Kathy's mouth
got
back into Buffy's mouth.
Yeah.
Now there was a moment that I expected. There's a Chekhov's bag of weapons not seen all the way through, where Kathy throws Buffy into the closet where we have established the weapons are.
Yeah.
And then we see Buffy being pulled out of the closet and her hands are just out of frame. And we're like, oh, what did she grab? Did she grab an axe? Did she grab throwing stars? Does she have nunchucks? Does she have a morning star? Does she have a katana? Does she have little hand knives? Does she have a crossbow? I was just gonna keep going until you made me stop.
Yeah, I wish you would.
But no, she's got the sweater that has ketchup on it, and she chokes her out with a sweater.
But like not even well.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Like Buffy was really, but not working with a full deck of cards.
Yeah, well,
in this fight.
She lost some of her soul.
Yeah, and then some stupid pops out from his room and he's like,
"Do you mind? People are trying to study."
Yeah, this was
like,
dumb.
Who's this line for?
Well, I'll tell you what it was. It was a joke that they didn't have the balls to commit to on network television.
Okay.
Because it's Buffy and Kathy moaning like they're playing
grunting.
tennis. And slamming against the wall. So this guy comes out to say, people are trying to say, trying to imply like, oh, it sounds like they're having sex. But they didn't commit to the joke, so it just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, it was dumb. Kathy is now, trying to suck the remainder of Buffy's soul through her mouth, but the ritual that Wiles is doing works, and so Kathy kind of falls off of her and is like, how did you do that? Here comes D-Mom. And she's like, you get to your room right now.
Oh,
and
young lady.
Yeah, you get out of here, young lady. And Kathy's like, I'm not 900 years old. I'm 3,000 years old. I'm allowed to go to college. D-Mom throws Kathy into a portal into the Hellmouth and then follows her down. I loved this. I thought it was so fucking funny. I fucking love that they put D-Mom in a Lane Bryant blouse. Like, that is so funny.
And the thought I had was, it's a shame they killed Sunday and her crew last week, because they could have come in and snatched up all of Kathy's stuff and left a nice note.
Nobody wants a Celine Dion poster. Cut to the way it always should have been. Willow moving in. And this is very similar to sort of what happened where like there was no official moving in or out.
You just went to the other person's room?
Yeah.
Oh, we did ours officially.
Nah.
That's interesting.
Because Anna and I were gonna we didn't want to go through the red tape of it. Anna and I knew we were going to request each other as sophomores.
Yeah.
But there was a fucking open bed. So like I just
now
I basically like 11:15 was my closet and 12:15 was my bed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So we've got an animated project that's been kind of slowly in the works on the back burner for years about you and Kim meeting in college, and it's called Kim and Kat's College Survival Guide. And who knows if it'll ever see the light of day, but I play with this trope in that pilot script where you and Kim meet in college. It's a fictionalized version where they go to a school and have to fight monsters and stuff. But you guys meet in college and you both have shitty roommates, and Kim suggests a roommate swap and you're like, yay. And she's like, no, I'm going to take your roommate and you take my roommate. So it still takes you guys a while to wind up together.
That's so cute.
But
Mwah.
that's a fun take on specifically based on this.
You should make that. But then we have like kind of a button on the joke where like it's supposed to be that, Billow is going to get along.
Buffy's
really
got her soul
well.
back, so she's not going to be a bitch anymore.
But then, Willow does take a gigantic bite out of the center of the triangle of her sandwich half. That was a little unhinged. And so then
Was it?
Yeah.
You have eaten more of my food in the last 17 years than I have.
Right, but that was in our vows. You signed up for that. Billow isn't married. They didn't sign up for that. Like, also, I have to eat your food because it tastes better. But that doesn't work in a best friend dynamic. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think we need to test that.
This was fun. And Kathy's dead. So I guess she's not even dead. Oh my God. I guess she could.
We could see her again. I don't remember. I do, but the threat is still there.
I'm going to see her
And
in
she
my
replaces
nightmares.
the Celine Dion poster with a Dingoes Ate My Baby poster, which is...
That was great.
Mwah, chef's kiss. UC Sunnydale yearbook committee meeting now in session. Who'd you have for best dressed?
Best dressed, I had a tie between Oz and Giles. I loved Oz's beige t-shirt with the brown trim. And then in the exact same scene, I loved Giles's sort of slouchy sweater with a tweed blazer.
Very interesting, because I think I picked that same outfit for Oz, but when he added a layer.
When he added the coat?
Yeah, with the fuzzy collar. So I had to tie Oz there. And it's funny because someone commented on one of our YouTube videos that we completely are sleeping on Oz when it comes to best dress. Like, we don't even consider him. And so I took a closer look at him this week, and he snuck in there. So
Agreed.
That one. And then I also liked Buffy's black off the shoulder with the long red silk skirt.
Oh, yeah.
They put Buffy in a lot of red this episode. She's
so mad.
She's in a red top with a red skirt in the beginning. She's in a red pea coat when she's on patrol. Rocking a lot of red, which obviously I like. Look how I dress. Who'd you have for worst dressed?
Willow's shawl thing, and the thing is like, this was a thing we were doing. Like, I'm not even
Grandma core.
Yeah, like, it's a thing we were doing, and it was we shouldn't have been. And Willow fell for it, and we all did, and it's okay, but it's bad.
I gave it to Kathy's weird square backpack. It just bugged me. What was your best line?
Best line, when Buffy and Giles are talking, where she's venting about Kathy, he's got just this really beautifully natural delivery where it just like really showcases what an incredible actor Tony Head is, where she's venting about how she measures her pencils, and he kind of throws the line away where he says,
which is fussy, I agree. But everybody has their idiosyncrasies.
But blah, blah, blah. I remember seeing it for the first time being like, this is acting 101. Like, it was a perfect delivery of a very mundane line.
I gave it to Oz when he's on patrol with Buffy and she does the really lame punching.
So either you hit her or you did your wacky mime routine for her.
Well, I didn't do either, actually. But she deserved it, don't you think?
Nobody deserves mime, Buffy.
Just loved it.
Yeah.
What was your worst line?
Squeeze in!
Squeeze your face off your head.
I gave it to the guy coming out in the hall telling me people are trying to study here, only because I feel like they didn't commit to the joke, so the line just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
What would you have for best move?
Unfortunately, I had a worse move. And it was Buffy forgetting how to throw a punch and miming punching like she's never used her arms before.
Who was worse, Faith on the heavy bag last season or this?
Buffy.
This right here?
This was bad.
Yeah, we should have tapped in her stunt double to do these air punches, because this
bad.
was it was cute. Like, if it was your
It was
friend
cute, but it
who's
wasn't-
never been in a fight
And it
would
but it-
throw punches like this, not someone who fights for a living.
exactly.
I loved the double head bonk.
Double head bonk. Yeah. Okay.
And then finally, who'd you have for most likely?
Most likely to have already murdered Kathy before we even got to the demon talk, me.
Again, I had most likely to buy a yacht with all the royalties she's going to get from how many times her song was played in this episode. Share.
That's a good one.
And that's all we got for you this week. Thanks for hanging out. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe. Please click the little subscription bell or the little notification bell. I don't know what it's called. It looks like a bell. There's a bell on your screen. Click it. Don't worry about what it does. Don't ask questions. We don't ask you for much. Just do this.
Yeah.
Click the thing. If you're listening on a podcast app, please leave us a 5-star rating and or review. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment on this specific episode. All of that just helps tell whatever platform you're watching on, hey, people like this. And that makes them want to send it out to more people, which helps us out tremendously. If you got a few bucks burning a hole in your pocket, less than a gallon of gas in most states right now, $5 a month, you can join our Patreon where we do a watch along of every episode before we record this. So it's us reacting in real time, talking over the whole thing. You sync it up, you watch with us. It's all right there in the title, Watching Along. In addition to our watch along, we do a mini-sode called Trivia Crypt, where we do a little deep dive into every episode, behind the scenes fun facts, production secrets, play a little game where we look at what the title of the episode was when it aired in other countries. We find old promos, things that you guys bring up in the comments. We share them there as well. Again, all that is $5.
Along with $5 a month, we also have a separate service for $5 where I will give you a personalized tarot read video. I have never encountered any other tarot reader who has ever charged $5 or anything even close to it. But I'm happy to, because I like doing it. So you can find that on our Patreon as well.
And if you find yourself looking for a podcast to listen to on a Wednesday, you can check out our other show, Kim and Ket Stay Alive Maybe, co-starring her and the hilarious Kim Burns. I edit and produce that show. We've been running for over 400 episodes. We've got like 8 years of backlogs. If you're just hearing about the show now, you're going to have plenty to listen to. It's a hilarious horror movie podcast where one of them watches a movie the other one hasn't seen, walks them through the plot, and stops at key points to ask how they would survive and how they think the characters would survive the movie. So much fun. It's on social media at KKSam Podcast. This show is on social media at Major Slayage Pod. That's all we got. We'll see you next week. Until then,
Dust you later.